Hello everyone, Brett the Comic Novice here, and we are finally done with the first Dawn of DC's miniseries, The Adventures of Jon Kent Superman, and I can honestly tell you, I was kind of surprised at how it ended. However, in this video, I'm going to not only look at issues 5 and 6 from The Adventures of Jon Kent Superman, I'm also going to be looking at the relationship between Jon and Injustice Damian, as well as Jon and Injustice Superman. First, with regarding Damian or Injustice Damian, it's very odd because in issue number 4, Jon, as he approaches Damian, references, knowing him, obviously from Super Sons in his universe, their close friendship and whatnot. And as he confronts Damian in issue number 6, Jon again tells him, don't pretend to be surprised that I snuck up on you. I know you. I've done this to you a lot. Nothing nefarious, but I know you. And then, although Jon did, kidnap Wonder Woman and take her lasso of truth, Damian willingly, when Jon approached him holding out the lasso, just, coiled up, willingly took the lasso to answer Jon's questions. Again, Jon knows his character. However, for some reason, Jon, knowing Damian, even his own Earth Damian, had no clue that, this hostile Damian would dare put a tracking device on his back so that Damian could, check out where he's going. Again, the main reason why is because plot. Because without this, the Injustice League would not have been able to find Batman and his crew hiding out in Gotham. And, after a quick confrontation, Injustice Superman and his crew do a quick slapdown and whatnot, basically getting ready to put Harley and Bruce to death, with everybody else being put into prison for indefinitely forever, possibly, if they're lucky. I was also surprised within this whole thing to see Catwoman actually alive when it came to the sentencing part, because initially I had assumed that Selina Kyle was dead when Wonder Woman backhanded her because the words, the onomatopoeia, was crack, which I kind of read as, there goes her neck. I mean, maybe it should have been snapped, then maybe that would have been her neck. But I was really surprised that she was actually alive. Now, again, looking at Injustice Superman, we already know that he has been softened because of Jon's appearance, possibly maybe looking a little bit more like Lois. And he, even though his Justice League was constantly giving him warnings, Damian being number 1, Diana being number 2, so it's kind of interesting that, he does have this weak spot for him. So, maybe there is hope in this Superman. Issue number 5 sets us up with the showdown between, as Barbara told Jon, that he sounds a lot like Lois, which again, I would partially agree with, because when Jon was talking to Injustice League Superman later, to me, I believe he sounds a little bit more like his dad than Lois, but you know what? You are, the combination of both your parents, so whatever. And he even sounds like, Superman, his dad, after he, breaks Jay's arm, which I was, not 100% against. However, I will say, Tom Taylor came up with and has patted himself on the back multiple times that, Jon, at least up until issue number 12 of The Son of Kal-El, never threw a punch. And, that's something that he likes to brag about regarding, Jon's character. However, and I'm going to say this extremely tongue-in-cheek, but after calmly talking to the Flash and talking him down, Jon, again, this is just tongue-in-cheek, but assaults Hot Girl, possibly causes her bodily harm by ripping off her wings, possibly also emotional distress too, assaults Hal Jordan, stealing his Yellow Lantern ring, kidnaps Wonder Woman, taking her to the moon of Titan, and then abandons her before abandoning her, stealing her lasso of truth, and then again, no punching, but does all that again, just tongue in cheek. But you know what? Anyway, whatever. That's just a fun breakdown of the events that occurred. Now, as he faces this Injustice Superman, Injustice Superman breaks Jay's arm, the guy that he loves, or at least one version of him. he uses the last bit of Blue Superman's strength to fly fast as possible towards Injustice League Superman to give him a hug. Now, however, this leads to actually one of my favorite parts of the actual story was, Injustice Superman punches the blue power completely out of Jon. I actually chuckled at that. I don't know why I just did. The issue 6 closes with Injustice Superman hearing Jon's mom, his Lois, talking to him about the quest that he's about to go on regarding Ultraman, and listing off some of probably the unspeakable torment and torture that Ultraman put Jon through. As he's doing this, and as Injustice Superman's heart is probably growing 3 sizes, similarly to the Grinch, Cyborg hits Jon with a boom tube so that to send him back to Earth, and the series is over. Now, for me personally, again, kind of like the thumbnail, this series ended with a whimper and a hug, I guess you could say. But, I think the series would have been a lot more interesting if it would have been Ultraman versus Jon. This showdown, to me, just makes a lot more sense than Jon versus Injustice Superman. But again, Tom Taylor is playing around with the characters, the titles that he has worked on, rather than, at least in my opinion, possibly telling a good or a better story. Is it bad? No, but it's just one of those things that I don't think I own all 6 issues. I don't have any interest in going back and listening or reading any of them again. And then there is a tease that, the next time we see Jon Kent is going to be in this, Titans Beast War thing. I hope no series comes from Jon Kent until maybe a different writer, is able to tackle him, and we can move away from Jay Nakamura. At least, again, that's my opinion. I don't know. What are your thoughts? What did you think about issue number 5 and 6, or this series of the Adventures of Jon Kent Superman with the Injustice League and what have you? Like, subscribe if you want to. Comment down below. I do love reading them. And until next time, I will see you in the dollar section, where this issue will not be in my comic book store because they only ordered enough for shelf copies. So until next time, bye.